This is about nothing to do with software, actually. So I've got a straw man statement. Housing will always be expensive to build and damaging to the environment. What do you reckon? How much did your house cost? If you had to buy it, how much do you think it would cost? If you needed to insulate it, how much would you have to spend? And how much concrete went into building it? How much steel was produced? How much energy went into it? So I'm going to take you through a few snaps that I took while doing a small project that I really enjoyed. This is most of the material that I started with. I started in 2016. We made some cement and did 8 holes with concrete in it. And then we built a frame with the wood that we saw earlier. And then I went away for 3 years. So 3 years later, there had been a lot of straw piled up on it, so I took the straw off. Day 1. Day 2, we start fleshing out the building. These are just totally standard, normal straw bales. They will cost you around £2.50 each. Day 2, structure is getting recognizable. The tarps are on because the next day it was due to rain. Straw doesn't like getting wet. Day 4, I didn't build the trusses. I ordered them from a company that builds trusses. I think they cost about 700 quid. So not the cheapest part, but again, it's a renewable piece of kit. Wood, you grow it on trees. Day 5, we put the roof on. Now it's, to all intents and purposes, watertight. You'll notice it's not exactly wind tight yet. But there you go. At the end of day 6, we've got a glass wall. Now, I wouldn't normally advise you to have glass walls like this, but I just happen to have this lying around. That's one of those things, right? So it used to be on a squash court. What you'll notice is that there are, what do you call them? Ratchet straps. The ratchet straps are doing 2 things at the moment. They're holding the roof on, and they're compressing the straw. If you don't use ratchet straps, then over time, the straw will naturally settle. And because I'm going to, in the next series of slides, we're going to see the covering that goes on the straw. You don't want it to, you want to make sure it settles before you do the covering. The ratchet straps don't stay on though. I replaced that with, you know when you get those annoying packages in the post with the white bands that keep them on? Well, so I just replaced before I took the ratchet straps off, I got some of that strapping and put it on. So it's actually held together by packaging material. Lime plaster comes out of the ground. This was the most expensive part of the process because I went for the easy option, which is lime plaster that you can mix yourself in a cement mixer. Here you see what it looks like after the first coat, which is what you just saw, but you can get a really nice smooth finish on the second coat. Wind it down. Then I found some volunteers to help me paint it. This is it's the same lime plaster essentially, but just much more watery with some pigment added to it. And there it is, sitting proudly on a hill. A nice sort of three-room structure. Total cost to build, probably in the £6,000 mark. Not expensive. Straw is a really good insulating material. And when you're finished with it, if you don't want it anymore, pretty much the only thing that you can't recycle on site is the tin sheets. And there's no reason that you would want to recycle them anyway, because they continue to be useful. I have some structures that have got tin sheets that have been used 3 times already. However, these buildings are not disposable. This is the first house I built. I built it in 1998, or rather I moved into it in 1998. It's still a perfectly decent home that some of my friends live in. Questions that I frequently get asked is, what about when the wolf comes and tries to blow you away? It's not a problem. It's really stable. People ask me, isn't it going to burn? No. In fact, it's really difficult to light a bale until you split it apart. And as long as you keep it dry, it will probably stay there for 100 years or more. Thank you.